Heyo! Or not. How are y'all today? Welcome to my channel. I am Paul. If you did not know, now you know. So, what the hell is this? Trash. I've done something, I'm actually in the process of doing something completely different with all of my fishes. I'm going to be setting up a 70 gal here in the next couple of days. Nobody's going in it as of right now, except for a couple of my feeder guppies that I have. I breed feeder guppies as well. And I just put those in with water, dechlorinated water, and some plants, and a filter, and have that cycle process through. I like to do it for a month. Sometimes I'll start it at 2.5, 3 weeks, depending on if all of my tests come out clear. But I have downsized my beta population. They no longer live in those containers. They were only in those containers for a short time for breeding purposes. But my heating source that I had over there stopped functioning, so the set of eggs I did get did not make it. So I was upset about that. But my buddy wanted to get a couple boys for his breeding program that he's got going. And I was more than happy to give him a couple of my prettier males, because I'm not going to be breeding at this time, at this very moment. So I only kept 3 of my boys. Empire, Dragon, and Jupiter went to my buddy. And I got Midnight, a new guy, Draco. He gave me that boy. And Bastion. Bastion was gonna be a daddy. What the hell is that? Oh, it's the wall ending. But unfortunately, a mistake happened. Well, something malfunctioned, and we lost all those eggs. He just stopped tending to them. They all floated down to the bottom, and I was very sad. But my hair is just very uncooperative today. I have it pulled back. I just don't give a damn about my hair today. Like, they were not permanently going to live in those containers anyway. They, way too small. I got yelled at by someone who worked in a pet store a good majority of his life about wanting to put them in their own little 10 to 15 gallons and have them all decked out with plants and have bioactive filters and stuff like that. They're like, no, you keep them in a little tiny bowl. I said, what? No. The only reason why I have them in those containers right now is because I'm in the process of trying to breed them. They're not living in there. Like, I had a couple boys breed with the females, but 2 of the females were highly compelled to eat the eggs. Yeah, they just ate the eggs. And the males were getting frustrated, and eventually I ended up just taking those 2 females out and putting them in my pond at the moment. I have nothing in there other than plants and lava rock and little lava rock filter that I got in it. Well, it's not little, it's massive, but it's just 3. I could show you, but I'm not walking over there. It's 2 liter bottles of soda. I just used some soda bottles. And I put some crushed up lava rock in there. And that is my filter. Oh, and I had a water pump on there as well. You need water flow. Don't forget that little bit. And I have a little skimmer that I use to skim the surface when it needs it. But right now it doesn't need it because the only thing that's floating on the surface is little duckweeds. Which is kind of cool. I thought I got rid of all of them. Like, I'm not afraid that anything's going to happen with that water or anything, or those fishes. Plus, they're females. Females can cohabitate together. There is a crap ton of plants in that pond. And I got 2 of the girls in my aquarium, too. But that's got even more more plants in it. Oh my goodness. My brain does not feel like functioning today. It just wants to go back to sleep. I have a headache. I need to go water that, plant. It looks a wee bit droopy. Oh yeah, I most definitely need to water that plant. But I have a fuck ton of shit in my way right now. I'm reorganizing and I'm cleaning and moving animal cages, and it is a freaking disaster. And the cats somehow managed to get in the kitchen. I didn't see a jump. I didn't see him jump either, so. But those 3 boys are no longer here. The Empire Dragon and Jupiter. I like Jupiter. I thought he would be a really good breeder. He got the breeding part down. Not so much with the egg nest, or the bubble nest. Technically, it would be an egg nest, too, but these eggs are put up there into the bubble nest. But I just took the female from him, and I gave him immediately to my friend. I kept the girl. I thought it was hilarious. Because he blew a couple bubbles. I watched him do it, too. And he was the only fish not afraid of Sapphire. She's one of my bigger females. She's about that big. Yeah. She's a good 2 inches long. At least. And he was a little bit bigger than her. Just a little bit. But he has such personality that she couldn't. She just couldn't be mean to him. I guess. I think that's what was going through her brain. But yeah, that was fun. Like, she was totally receptive to him. She bred with him, or she spawned with him. That's the technical term. And she was one of the egg eaters, unfortunately, because they never got up into a nest. She was like, oh, well, there's no nest, so food. Even the other one that, the other female that ate the eggs, she had a bubble nest to put them in. Because typically the female will help bring the eggs to the bubble nest, and then she'll have nothing more to do with it. It's the male that rears or broods the babies. I need to raise the water level in that tank a little bit. Just a little bit. But once I get my house a little bit cleaner, I'm going to be setting up that 70 gal in my kitchen over there by the pond. The I don't think I've shown you guys the cane toad. I can't show you guys the cane toad because he's not over here. He's in the kitchen. That fricker is an escape artist. Like, good freaking grief. I don't understand. Oh. I need to redesign his cage lid, I think. But I'm actually afraid that my pond may have a small, slow leak in it. That's actually why I want to set up the 70-gallon. Well, one of the reasons. The other reason is because my guppies and mollies are breeding out of control. And they have overpopulated this 29. And they can no longer live happily in that cage. So within the next few weeks, they're going to have a new home. Even if I have to set up another 10-gallon and put some guppies and mollies in there. And throw some plants in there with them. If my buddy allows it, I may do a video on his fishes. But he's not too keen on cameras for some reason. I don't understand. Cameras are awesome. Pictures are awesome. But I just wanted to give you a little update about my fishes. I was just gonna take all the females from the males and try again in a couple days, but I didn't have enough tanks for all of the fish, so I had to give up 3 of my males, and then I was just like, eh. But now I have an algae farm going on over here because I had to leave for 2 days. Yeah. Well, I came back. I wasn't like permanently gone for 2 days. I had a bunch of doctor's appointments, and by the time I was done with those doctor's appointments, I was so dead because I had to wake up at 5 o'clock because they were coming to get me at 6:30ish, anywhere between there, and then I had to get there and be there by 8, and then from 8 to 5 I had testing all day. Thank God I got out early both days, so. Oh, it is windy as hell today. Like, windy as hell. Like, if I didn't have my door barricaded with a huge tank right now, it's on a dolly, I'd poke the camera out the door. But I knocked a bunch of stuff over in the living room, getting the, nothing like breakable or animal-wise or anything dangerous for animals or nothing. Moving all the tanks around and shit. And then I found someone has been pooping in or underneath one of my cages, and I'm pretty sure that it's a gizmo cat because he's the only one that does that I am aware of. And I swear if the little kitten starts doing that because he is, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be really mad. I'm going to be so very mad, it's not even going to be fair to anybody. Really? Well, I know where all those wrappers I put on the floor went. The kitten likes to take my, the meat stick wrappers and run off and chew on them. There's nothing, there wasn't really anything in there. She just likes chewing on the plastic. Hey! I see what you're about to do. You go back there and go potty. Mama is going to be very upset with you. Talk back to me. I just cleaned out all of that shit that he put underneath this, the 110, the 110 tank. That has nothing in it. I finally rehomed all of those babies. It was hilarious watching the guy get the Tokay out of that cage. He actually did a very good job. He did not have to go hands-on or nothing because he did not bring any gloves. And that Tokay is like that big. And like that big around. And when I got him, he was nothing but skin and bones. That was awesome. No, that wasn't the Tokay. No, the Tokay was quite healthy. Because I got him from the same people that rehomed them for me. Nah, he was freaking me out. He'd like lunge at me every time I'd have to go in there to arrange something or put some water in the water dish. And I wasn't risking getting my finger chomped off by a Tokay. It was the Swift that was skin and bones when I got him. Sorry. He was in a cage on top of the 110. I don't think I ever showed you guys the Swift. He's been rehomed. I can't show you him now. But I am officially no longer rescue or rehabilitating any animals. I need time to decompress from all of the animals that I've had to, one, deal with. Hey, don't you climb up that branch, you little turd. Getting ready to climb up a branch that I got posted up in the house. It's not secured to the ceiling, goofball. Hey, Cloud, come here. What are you eating? Huh? What are you eating exactly? I know that's not cat food. Cat food isn't stringy like that. And I don't feed you wet food. I feed you little natural pieces of dry food. Excuse me for just one moment. Hey, don't you run away from me. Come here. Give me that. Give me whatever you have. What'd you do with it? Don't eat stuff off the floor. You can choke and die. Ow. Hi, I look weird. Oh, I need to step over a bunch of stuff that I knocked over. I was sitting on a table. Oh, that was a bitch getting that 70 gal out of that bedroom. I am pooped. I decided to make a video because I was dog tired. What are you whining about? Huh? There's literally nothing to whine about. I know Mama's blocking part of the house, but still, that's really nothing to whine about. I don't get why he just whines all the time. Well, I think I know why he does that, but I don't have any evidence that anything went on like that between said person and my cat, but I'm not gonna sit there and be like, this person did this, that, and the other thing. I just don't have proof. No, that's not how it works. I think I know what happened, but I'm not sure. And I don't get why there's always so much algae in that thing. Poor Midnight. I swear, I'm cleaning that out daily. I have him in a little breeder box because I have a boy in there and swimming with the other fishes. And I didn't have another cage to put Midnight in. So, well, a cage and a filter. Because I ran out of lava rock. And I didn't have another water pump thing. Like, you don't really need a huge one for a little 10 gal. You just need a little tiny one. They're not expensive. You can buy one for a fountain for like $10. But I'm actually quite happy with this 30 gallon. I'm not happy with the number of fish I have in there. Because what was supposed to be all boy fish mollies, or boy mollies, ended up being 2 boy mollies and 4 slightly pregnant females. But they were so unhappy in the tank that they were in, I couldn't tell by their anal fin whether they were male or female. Because their dorsal fins were down. I wanted to save them. That was my main purpose in life. Was to save those fish at that very point in time. Like, I have no problem saving fish right now. Will you please stop whining? Like, for real. You have food, you have water, you have animals to look at and play with. You harass my tortoises all the time. You can jump in those tanks if you want to. I please don't do that. But you can. Because you're cats. And you're probably going to anyway. I'm gonna laugh if you get stuck in another tank there, Gizmo. Because I have this corner tank. In the very, 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 very back bedroom. And, when he was a kitten, he decided that it was a good idea to go inside the cage. But he did not realize that he wasn't going to be able to get out of the cage. That was hilarious. Because I couldn't find him, or I didn't see him for a little while. I wasn't too worried. He's a cat. They do that. Doing their own thing. But he's like, meow, meow. Just crying for his little kitten life, and I'm searching around the house trying to figure out where he is. He had shut himself in the back bedroom and put himself in a cage, which was too tall for him to just jump out, and the hole was like only that big, by like that. I don't even know how he got in there to begin with, but he did. I hope he wasn't in there for too long. But I had to figure out how I was going to rescue my poor kitten. Because the top didn't come off. It didn't open up any further. So I legitimately had to find something to step on. To get me high enough up there. So I could, like, put my entire arm down into the tank and grab him up. That was a chore. Because he's sitting there, he wants to play with me. He's in there like, I want you out of this tank. You were just crying to come out. I mean, he's hilarious. He's a funny kitten, but he's a whiner butt. Now, it would be totally fine if he did it when there was no food in the bowl, which there is always food in that bowl. Or if there was no water in the dish, which there is always water in the dish. But they always choose to drink from the pond than the water in the dish. I'm so happy they have not gotten sick yet. Like, I'm always yelling at them, get out of the pond! And then I will get up after I yell at them and check if there's water in the water dish. And there will be. And then I'm sitting there like, why the hell are you not drinking out of your water dish, which is fresh, clean water? Because I don't take water from the tap. I buy water jugs for them. Natural spring water is the type of water I get, or I get distilled. Because sometimes I use those jugs to top off my aquarium. So I don't have to add more chemical into the water. Because there shouldn't be any chlorine in those water bottles. Depending on what kind you get. But I use those ancient almond leaves to cleanse the water of any impurities. It works really, really, really well. Given you have to put into account how big the water source is, how many leaves you actually have to put in that water source. And if you don't want your water dying because it puts tannins in the water, then don't use ancient almond leaves, because it will start to blacken your water a little bit. That's why in my betta enclosures while I was breeding them, they looked a little orange. The water did. That's because of my ancient almond leaves. They're going to be found all throughout the fields that the bettas live in. And yes, when I say fields, I mean fields. They are rice fields or rice paddies that stretch for miles. Or small river systems, like creeks. A betta cannot survive for a long period of time, or for their entire life, in a small pool of water with no filter, no running water, no nothing like that. They do like a little bit of current in their water system. Not when they're breeding, obviously. They find shallow pools, calm, shallow pools. Get out of the pond! Dude, I just cleaned that litter box. And you have multiple litter boxes throughout the house. Some have lids, some don't have lids. And there are all sorts of shapes and sizes, too. He only started pooping on the floor because of my roommate's cat, because he'd often poop on the floor. He'd poop wherever he pleased. And that was disgusting. But I don't have a roommate anymore, and I'm very happy. But I'm running out of time here. I'm about to start a second video. I don't want to start a second video before I get my outro out. But I'm Paula. This is my channel. You are amazing people. As always, you, yes you, have an amazing, wonderful, and beautiful day. Bye now.